What's going on, fans? Before we get into the very first episode of season 4 Road to the Doctorate, I want you to take a look at my Instagram channel, Silvertone. I have it down in the comments below, in the description below, as usual. And check out my mini series. It's basically a bit of short videos that covers smaller topics that could possibly lead up to bigger topics. And, it's just some good fun to look at from time to time. I also will be having advice that I'll put up there from like tips from Road to the Doctorate, basically on how to navigate like the college life, how to navigate a doctoral program, or any other program that you've run into. So basically, just check it out and enjoy the show. Welcome back, season 4. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Season 4, Road to the Doctorate. I am so glad to have you guys back. I had to take a little bit of a break, kind of get my head together, start doing some of the mini series. If you guys haven't been on there already, like I said in my intro, check it out. But this season is going to be all about the first of whatever, like first kiss, first car, first whatever. Right now, though, this one is about the first date. And I dedicate this one to the first girl that ever allowed me to take her on a date and allowed me to be able to practice learning how to be a gentleman on a date. And I am forever thankful for her because she paved the way for a lot of girls that have been on a date with me since March 1st, 2015. So shout out to you, Spirit. That's what we calling her for right now, Spirit. So I guess most of y'all probably want to know how did the first date go? How did you get there? So if February 25th, I think that might have been a Tuesday, or it might have been a little bit. Yeah, it might have been a Tuesday. I was basically chilling with the fellas, and I was like, "Hey, I have yet to ever go on a first date." And I was like, "Bro, are you serious?" Like, yeah, I've never been on my first date. And so that was like, bro, you gotta hop on that, man. You don't want to be out here not knowing how to date somebody. And then of course, they say like, man, you finna be a teacher, man, your students gonna laugh at you. I'd be like, man, I don't care. Back in my mind, I did. You shouldn't care about what people say or think, but much harder than it sounds. So I hit the girl up, and I had a crush on this girl already, so had to nut up or shut up. So I sent her a message, do a little basic conversation, and then I asked her, I said, Spirit, would you like to go on a date with me this weekend? And it felt like forever before I got the message back, even though it was only like maybe 10 minutes. But those 10 minutes felt like a long time because, worst thing that a woman can say is no. Anything else after that is just supplemental damage. But she did respond and say, yeah, I would love to. And I showed the guys a message. I was like, yo, she said yes. And them being as funny as they are, they were just being oh so sarcastic. They was like, oh, he got a date. And so they giving me all sorts of tips and whatnot, like what to do, what not to do. And I normally don't welcome the advice because, they have a sarcastic way of doing things. But I actually was into it. I wanted to make a good impression on this girl and hopefully look for, something in the future. So the day of the date comes, I'm out in the nature trails, just basically like, just walking around, doing some training. And I look at my watch and I'm like, yo, man, it's time for me to go. So I get in the car, go back, I take a shower, get dressed, and I let her know that I'm on the way. And for those of y'all that don't listen to The Weeknd, I suggest you listen to The Weeknd, because that was the playlist that my roommate, Dr. Watson, chose for me to play. He has good taste in music, so, that's what you play. So I get to her dorm and I open the door for her, greet her as such. And we went to go see a movie. We enjoyed ourselves throughout the movie. And considering where we were at the time, there wasn't a lot of options that were open after that. So we ended up at Burger King. I know, y'all probably saying in the comments, man, you could have took us somewhere better than that. But at the time, I didn't have a lot to work with. This was just the first date as well, so I ain't want to, put too much out there. So we went to Burger King, we sat down, and we had a great conversation, a great time. And I know it seems simple to my viewers out here, my listeners out here, but for me, that was like a pinnacle moment for me. It gave me an identity, a part of my identity that I never knew I had. Like, I didn't know that I was capable of actually entertaining somebody like that on a date and actually do pretty well with it. I never knew I had that talent. And because of Spirit, I'm much better at it now than I was back then. And I know you guys are probably wondering, why aren't you with Spirit now? And as I would always say, things didn't line up the way that I hoped, and that's neither of our faults. Life happens. She had her purpose in my life as far as that was concerned, but she is still a great friend, and I often hit her up about, just different stuff, because she's an educator like myself, and we have great conversations. I've asked her for advice about some stuff, and I let her know, be like, hey, you doing a thing, girl. Work the hell. You gotta be honest in your compliments. And so, if I had an opportunity, would I? Who knows? Right now, all I can tell you is that my first date was awesome, even though it was simple. So, what advice would I give you guys that have never gone on your first date? Well, here's some of the tips and tricks that I would suggest to you. Got 3 major ones. First and foremost, always make sure to know exactly what they want to do. Ask questions. Like, do they like movies? Do they like going out to eat? Do they like bowling? What is it that they like to do? The second thing, make sure that you set yourself to a budget. Now, I know that this is probably not going to sound well with some of the people that are watching this, but they are already far evolved to this point. This ain't for them. This is for you. All right. So you want to set yourself to a budget, because you don't want to be out here spending lots of money on your first date, and then you're having to keep that standard up all the time. Work your way up to it. Start off with something simple and then build up on that. Because if the person is worth it, they'll understand that, okay, this person is trying to get to know me. Because the amount of money you spend on a date does not determine how great the date goes. Because if you want my honest opinion, I spent less than $25 on my first date. So money doesn't make the date. It's your time and your conversation, which leads up to number 3. Have great conversation. Don't be that person that doesn't know how to talk on a date. If you don't know what you want to ask, Google common dating questions. As a matter of fact, I'll be leaving a link down below as to, dating questions that you can ask, great conversation starters, and basic stuff that'll help you push the conversation forward. Now, once you have the ammo, it's up to them to be able to help carry the conversation, because you don't want to get into conversation with somebody and they can't carry their weight. Bad idea. And if I'm gonna throw a freebie in here, number 4, don't always expect to have a happy ending at the end of the night. Sometimes a handshake, a hug, or even a kiss can sometimes be enough to make that next opportunity so much more rich, so much more worth looking forward to. So, with that being said, this has been another Silvertone production. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and spread the word. Follow me on social media. Definitely my Instagram. My Instagram is the main hub for where a lot of my mini-series and advice columns comes from. And just talk to me, send me a DM. If you got personal questions you want to ask, by all means, I'm willing to answer them. Just don't get too crazy. But you guys stay blessed, and I'll see you on episode 2. Holla.